Welcome to another edition of Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. And here's your host, Russ McClellan.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in one more time to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. It's our fourth year. Wow. You know, we're going to be starting a video podcast towards the end of this year, maybe sooner, which I'll start to every show that I do on the radio. We'll start to plug this podcast that we're going to start doing. Which is just kind of the same thing we're doing right now, introducing our agents like I do and just talking real estate, talking mindset. You know, it's a strange time. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. And depending on who you're surrounding yourself with, as they say, you surround yourself with you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So boy, oh boy, do we have some rainbow of flavors depending on who you are and who you're talking to on what's going to happen in real estate, what's going to happen in life, what's going to happen in the economy. Wow. Just depends on who you're watching, right? Well, what we're going to try to do is just get people to open up and really start talking about real things, not hypothetical things, and keep this positive. Today, I'm very excited. I got Aaron Ruiz. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. How are you doing, Russ?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for coming in. I really wanted to, one of the things I like to do is share with people, the agents of Keller Williams, and kind of introduce you so they can get to know you like I do. And frankly, you know, we've grown so much. We're almost 90 real estate brokers and counting. That's almost 20% of the entire MLS. So, you know, I love these interviews too because we can kind of dive a little deeper into who we are and, you know, who you are, why Keller Williams, what do you got going in your life? So I'd love to hear, just kind of give me an idea of who Aaron Ruiz is. And how'd you end up here?
Yes, of course. Well, I was born in Guadalajara City, and I spent my life in Mexico until I finished my marketing degree at the University of Guadalajara. Now, by that time, my mom and my brothers were here already, and I couldn't find a job on you know what I studied, what I wanted to on marketing or something related. So I kept working on things like Pizza Hut, you know, for a miserable amount of money.
Right.
And I got
Good
tired
pizza,
of it,
but...
you know? Yeah. I got tired of it. Unfortunately, that was the reality, and it's even worse now. So I came here, and I started working on the orchard, packing companies, and until I got an opportunity to work at the radio station on marketing, on air, production. I spent 11 years there. And then after that, I didn't know what to do. I was between insurance and real estate. And I was fortunate to choose the right path, you know. I love this career. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. And why Keller Williams? Well, I remember that you and I had a conversation about, I don't know, like 3 years ago, you know.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes you're hesitant on how to make a move. But
most people are hesitant
yes,
when they talk to me.
Of course.
For obvious reasons, right? Who is that guy?
But you know what? There's something that there's a guy, his name is Patrick Riley. He said something to me on when I was helping him. Aaron, you got to look at the trends. You got to look at the trends and be ready for it. And I remember being at my office and thinking, who is thinking about this? Who's thinking about the trends? Who's thinking about how to help people that don't know even where to start, you know, the buying process of a home? And who's doing this, you know? And I started digging, and I found out that Keller Williams is basically the company that is doing this. And that's why I came here. Well, and also, when I sat with you before I came here, that made a huge difference because I was able to meet somebody that really gets people, that really gets that, yes, we are here to do a job, but I just love the way that your story, I connected with that, and also the fact that I was able to understand, okay, Ross knows that it's very important to have someone happy, strong, with this right mindset before we go ahead and help somebody. And I love that about you because I've seen a lot of type of leaderships, but I was really, I don't know how to put it, attracted to that, and that's why I made the move.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Our mission is to change lives to the life people want and the life they deserve, using real estate as the vehicle to do it. That's the passion that I come from. And 33 years in, it's very nice of you to say. And I feel the same way about connecting with people of integrity, because this is, like everything in life, a relationship business,
Yes.
right? If you have solid relationships with people and you're not afraid to remember that you're going to provide them a valuable service, you're going to do it with integrity and honesty and aggressiveness and creativity. And by the way, those aren't bad words, aggressive and creative. Those are good words in 2022. So it's cool that we've surrounded ourselves with a culture. Gary Keller, and to your point, Keller Williams is 200,000 agents strong, 58 countries. There's about 175,000 agents just in Canada and the U.S. So when you talk about a leader, he's kind of a savant on his own, the largest privately owned largest real estate company on planet Earth, whether it be a public or private. And his happens to be private. We are a franchise.
Yes.
Right. So when you were thinking real estate, and man, what a story. So you're born in Guadalajara, you get your degree in Guadalajara, University of Guadalajara, right? Mm-hmm. And then in marketing. And then how'd you get to the U.S.? What was that transition like?
Well, my story is a story like not every immigrant, but I tried to get a visa. I was denied. And I had to go through the desert of San Luis Rio, Colorado, and then Yuma, Arizona. Right there, we didn't find who was supposed to pick us, and we had to spend the night on that desert. I remember the guide quit on us. A lot of people came back, and it was just 4 of us keep going until somebody could find us. That's basically my story. It was in January. It was freezing, and all I can tell you is, I was sharing this with an inspector that we work with, and he has another guy that was a Marine, and we were just talking about the fact, when we have people coming to this great country, and we are thankful, there's a sense of gratitude that I feel, that never goes away. It's always, and especially now that I have kids. So I feel like a big responsibility to give back and also, be the best I can be for everything I have gotten from this country.
Well, we're a lot of us, me included, we're pretty spoiled, right? We're pretty entitled. I grew up in Mayberry land in Manson. I had great parents. I had all the opportunities that you could dream for as a kid. I think that somebody like you that fought hard, took big risks to become a citizen of this great country, to your point, is so admirable that we all should take pause and think about the gratitude that you have now. I mean, my son was retired as a United States Marine, as a sergeant. He's now getting real close to working in the real estate excavation project management game. He's
awesome. He's
doing great things. But what I look around sometimes and I'm like, if you just wake up and you just say out loud 3 things you're grateful for, your day's probably going to be a little better.
Yeah.
Versus, there's Doris Day has this quote. She said, complaint is poverty, gratitude is richness. So when I hear somebody that had a lot of obstacles, a hell of a lot more obstacles than I had, you got to hear, and now you're in the real estate business, you're a radio producer, you've got, now you were talking off air about a podcast idea that you have coming up. Tell me what that looks like and what your idea is, because, podcasts are kind of taking over the world, right? The whole video podcasting, the stories, people love authenticity. That's the sexiest thing you can be, is authentic, in my opinion, in 2022.
Yes.
Just be you times 2, brother. I mean,
exactly.
That's the key. And if they don't like you, hell, don't listen to them.
Yeah, of course. But I think that also when you, and it's everywhere, when you try so hard to be somebody that you're not, just because you, are looking for the attention or things like that, it's not going to have any connection, right? Basically, on the 11 years that I had on radio, one of the things that I enjoyed the most was when I remember there was a time when I was at the university and I was by myself, and I felt, and even at the high school, because my mom and my brothers were already here, but I felt kind of depressed. And there was a guy on radio that used to pick me up, used to lift my spirits, Unfortunately, like every successful people, this guy, his ego took him down. He started taking advantage of that. Anyways, and I just wanted to be able to do something like that and connect with people. And this podcast, I just want to make sure that somebody from town, heroes, business owners, people that had these struggles can share with me, sit with me on a casual setting, even with a tequila or a whiskey or a beer, what they went through, their feelings, and things that actually connect with people in those stories that have not been shared.
Yeah, authenticity. And you know what? Here's the deal, everybody. We all have stuff to get through. We all have stuff to get through from our past that we're still dealing with. We all have stuff that hits us in the face called life, and adversity breeds clarity if you let it. I want to get back into more of your idea on the podcast, and we come right back. Thanks for being here, Aaron. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes with Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Home Sweet Home, Home Sweet Home.
Hey, this is Russ McClellan with Keller Williams. I want to talk to you about something. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel the financial pressures of the COVID virus? That was fun, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, real estate can be a game changer for you, and I'm here to help you. If you want to give me a call at 509-888-0038, I want to talk about your life and getting unstuck. We are growing rapidly. We're the fastest growing real estate company in all of North Central Washington. Give us a call. I want to help you. 509-888-0038.
With the new Keller Williams School of Real Estate, you can now get your license for free. Access tools, tips, and personalized coaching with Keller Williams award-winning training programs, and start off your career in real estate the right way. K-Score is 100% online and entirely free to students, with pre-licensing curriculum geared toward placing aspiring agents on a direct path to licensure and profitability. With K-Score, we're not just unlocking the door, we're opening every door to anyone that's ever dreamed of starting their career in real estate. We're making a difference for you so that you can make a difference for others. Now available for all individuals in Washington. Your future awaits. Enroll today.
We're excited. We got a lot of people signing up, so give us a call, 509-888-0038, or simply email us at joinus@kwncw.com. Let's go from being stuck to unstuck.
You're tuned to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. Now back to Russ.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I got Aaron Ruiz, who's a Keller Williams, a rock star agent, who also has a great story, man. I love your story. Immigrant from Mexico, radio guy, marketing guy. Now you're a real estate broker and soon to be video podcaster for businesses around town. And you were telling us that authenticity and this, like the plight that business owners go through. And when you sit down and crack open a little bottle of tequila, you'd be amazed at how authentic people can get.
Yes, yes.
I love it, man. I think that's an exciting way to help other people tell their story. And what I often say is one of the biggest challenges in real estate for brokers that have a lot of talent, but it's bottled up because they're kind of secret agents. Do you know those people that are like, I have a real estate, I want to go do real estate full time. I just don't want to tell anybody I'm in real estate. It's harder. It's harder to make money. So that's exciting. You also mentioned you have a wife and kids now.
Yes.
How old are your kids, man?
I have an 11-year-old. He was born the same day that I was born. My wife told me he was going to be born on the 21st. And I was like, no, you're going to wait 1 week, wait 10 days. You're going to wait 10 days. I was just joking. I mean, and it happened. Right. You know, I have a 6-year-old, and my wife, which, I believe it was 2009. I was about to go back to Guadalajara, and then I saw her at the mall. And
Bada
I
bing.
stayed. I had to stay.
And there you go, the magnetism of the esposa.
Yes.
All right, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I got married just over 2 months ago. Made it almost 70 days. Good solid run. Or today is actually 2 months today.
2
I got
months.
married April 30th to July 30th. 3 months. 3 months today
3 months. Well,
that we're taping this.
you need to do something
Yeah, hey
special
man, I was
today,
divorced
Russ.
for 20 years. So, yeah. So tell me about it. What's it like raising kids, being a real estate broker, raising kids in today's world?
You know, I think that real estate has given me a lot of flexibility. There are days that you can go the whole day busy, and maybe you have a Tuesday and a Wednesday where you have more time and you can be at their games. You can be there for them, and that's something that I'm really thankful to real estate for. That having some time for my kids, you know, and it's like when people ask me, "Hey, how do I get to do that?" Well, it's like everything else. If you're willing to do what you're supposed to do in the sacrifice, you're gonna get there. But some people, if you think that this is the end result, is just how you're gonna start, it's not gonna happen, because you need to make sure that you prepare yourself. You really want it, and one of the things that I think that I'm really thankful is I try to make sure that every single family would be so happy and experience things that from all these comments or bad experiences, they would have something opposite, and that's when in times like this you start having these referrals. That's because of that, and I believe that's basically one of the biggest things you look for.
Yeah, when you have flexibility, it's a dangerous sport.
Yes.
When you go from being a W-2 employee to a self-employed 1099, there's nobody telling you to get up in the morning.
No.
There's nobody, calling you and saying, "Hey, you're late for work," because you're your own boss, essentially. I mean, there are other scenarios in real estate that some people practice, but most realtors are independent contractors. And to be disciplined to work isn't easy. And I see it right now. I've been doing this for 33 years, something like that. I see the last 10 or 12 years, pretty good run. And yet the people that are on top may not stay there. The people in the rankings of transactions may not stay there. The deck could be shuffled once more, which I say that because it happens every time there's a shift.
Yeah.
Because we develop habits, right? And when you make pretty good money, I mean, if you think about Wenatchee, Aaron, up until, say, 2020, the average price in Wenatchee was roughly $300,000 or less.
Yes.
And the interest rate was under 3%. So everybody that made $20 an hour could buy a house.
Yeah.
Right? In Wenatchee. Now you fast forward 2 years from 2020, and that was good for 10 years. So from like 2010 to 2020, tremendous opportunities. Now the opportunities are still here, but it's 6% interest rate, and the average price is now $400,000. Now it is, I think we are going to see some correction in the market. We are seeing some more price reductions. We are seeing a more balanced market. So what's good about that is that people that have good work ethic and do the right things in the right order, focus on the process with the end in mind, but don't just stare at the brass ring. They actually got to stare at the process.
Yes.
The step-by-step, day-by-day discipline. Because you know what? Being disciplined is really the name of the game, right? And when you think about your big whys, you think about, I stayed here in Wenatchee because I fell in love with an angel, and then I had 2 beautiful children. Yes. And now I have all this right in front of me. If that big why doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will, right?
Exactly. And there's one thing, Rose, that you said when the first time we met, and it's actually on a board on my kitchen. You said you can have how does it go? You can have fear and faith. You can only have one, right?
Yeah, you got fear or faith, can't have both.
Exactly. Yes, yes. And I love that from them, and I heard it. I put it there, see, so I don't forget. And I see it every morning because you have a choice. And there is a lot of noise out there, and not only for the younger people. I believe that for everyone, you open your phone and your social media, and you're exposed to see all this negativity and other people doing well. and you think that you're never gonna make it, or there's something you're doing wrong, and it's because we totally forget about what we have to do, what we are in control of, and also we don't talk to ourselves and we don't ask ourselves, okay, what is it that we're doing wrong? What is it that I'm not doing different so I can be on a higher level? I just recently went to the doctor and I recognized there's something I wasn't doing. I'm not overweight or a little bit, but I haven't exercised for 3 years, man, and I need to start doing it. And I need to develop that habit if I want to be healthy. But also, I remember when you exercise, there's something in your mind that even wakes. You feel, right?
Endorphins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, you're no longer just feeling like a sloth, right? Just going through the motions. Hey, man, hot yoga is my jam, as they say. Notice how I try to use cool words as an old guy. We were talking about who's the oldest, youngest guy. No, it's not me. But if I didn't do hot yoga, and I am, since my honeymoon, I've gained like 20 pounds, man, since I got married, like in 3 months. I didn't know I could do that. So I'm now back doing hot yoga almost every day. And when I'm done at 5:30 to 6:30 and 104 degrees and 40% humidity, man, those like that adrenaline and those dopamine hits are flying, and I'm all of a sudden ready to tackle the day. When I sleep in and hit the snooze button and go, it's just, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, I feel like crap. Yeah. I feel like crap. And what's cool is I've gotten a lot of my friends, one of my best friends now, and he had a bad back and bad knees, and his wife had done yoga, but I went on a vacation with him and I talked him into it because we went to high school together and college together. And now he's been going for like 3 weeks, and he's like, dude, he was a 3-sport athlete in school with me and, played college ball with me. And he's like, this is like the fountain of youth, man. I wake up the days that I don't do yoga, I feel like I'm 80 years old. The days that I do, it's like I'm ready to rumble. So you got something there, man. We have to take care of our bodies. But your point about the garbage that flies into our face on a daily basis, checking your Twitter feed, checking your Instagram, checking your Facebook, checking your TikTok, looking at your email, all this, you turn on the TV, God forbid you turn on the TV, because that is garbage, man. That is like sucking your brain. And you look at your brain like a mason jar, right? It only can hold so much.
Yes.
And then once it's full, stuff starts falling out, right? Because the problem is, if there's more garbage coming in than positivity, what you're going to end up losing is the positivity.
Exactly.
The confidence.
Yes.
What you're going to be replacing that with is fear and uncertainty and turbulence and resistance. And the resistance is your brain acting on its natural instinct to be fearful. And there's something that Fletcher Ellingson says a lot, but you cannot have courage without fear present. But you sure as hell can have fear without courage present. So think about that.
Yeah.
You cannot be courageous unless you're afraid. You have to meet resistance. But once you meet it head on, and you have to decide, can I have the faith to meet this fear? Because the instinctual mind is built from thousands of years to like all the way back to the dinosaurs, man. You stick your head out of a cave and that T-Rex just grabs your body. You're like, your brain is instinctually wired to just fight or flight. Like, it's not that sophisticated. The challenge for people is to wake up and realize that you actually have the opportunity to be in charge of your own brain. But if you don't, it will pretend that it's you. It'll be on autopilot, and your brain's going, I got that sucker. I'm in charge of the person, not the person in charge of me. And it's the only organ that we have that does it. Every other organ does its job.
Yep.
The brain somehow, like, it's like that kid in high school that thinks he's hot stuff, big bully. That's your brain.
Yep.
But your brain's actually not a confident person. So once you take charge and you realize that intentional, purposeful thinking, affirmations, gratitude, these are the things that take control of your mind. Watch out, world, because there's few of the people do that, and a lot of people listening to the news. All right. Well, hey, when we come back, I love the authenticity of what you're doing, and I want to dive into your real estate business so we can talk about that for a bit and what you think is going to happen and what you're hearing out there on the street. So we'll be right back with Home Sweet Home and Russ McClellan and friends in just a couple minutes.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true.
Hi, this is Russ McClellan, operating partner and designated broker of Keller Williams Realty, North Central Washington. Hey, thanks for tuning into our show each and every Saturday morning. I wanted to share the fact we have over 50 real estate agents, and there's a reason for that. Mainly, it's relationship and culture. You know, sometimes people definitely look at the money and the commissions and the splits, but at the end of the day, it's about relationships, trust, that familial connection that you have at Keller Williams. That's what we strive to do, and that's how we look at our clients. We now have offices in Brewster, Chelan, and Wenatchee. We have agents in Wenatchee, and East Wenatchee, and Cashmere, and Leavenworth, Chelan, Brewster. Really having a good time. So if you're interested in learning about why is Keller Williams Realty growing as fast as we've grown and have as many agents that are focused on their clients as we do, give us a call at 509-888-0038 or just stop by and see us at 1111 North Mission Street right here in Wenatchee. Hey, this is Russ McClellan. You know, we started our real estate company, Keller Williams Realty, North Central Washington, in the spring of 2018. We've grown to be the largest real estate company in North Central Washington, and there's a reason for that. We attract people that want to keep the vast majority of the money they earn because they deserve it. We attract people that know that Keller Williams is the most advanced education and training real estate company and the largest real estate franchise system on the planet. We're in approximately 55 countries with approximately 170,000 agents with the most advanced technology in a world that is driven by the digital age that there is in real estate. We also, if that's not enough, profit share at 49% above a predictable expense line monthly. If you're interested in learning more about Keller Williams Realty NCW, give us a call today at 509-888-0038 and let's talk real estate. Have a great day.
You're listening to Keller Williams Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. Now back to the show.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Aaron Ruiz. Man, I love talking to you, brother. You have a lot of similar mindset issues and things that we focus on to improve ourselves, and you and your family are a good example of that. We were just talking about it's normal, right, for people to have anxiety in today's world. It always has been, right? It's a human condition. And uncertainty is a problem for people. And right now there's a lot of uncertainty. But if we have this intentional, purposeful thinking and we realize that if we go to the dark side and let our mind be fearful and let our mind start talking to us from a negative mindset and the story we start telling ourselves isn't serving us, it's just important to know that you can recommit. I always call it the Etch-a-Sketch mindset. Do you remember the Etch-a-Sketch? Etch-a-Sketch is a game when I was kids in the 70s and early 80s. It probably still exists, where it has two buttons and you just mess around and it draws lines all over the little electronic page.
Oh, okay.
And then when you turn it over, you shake it and all the lines go away and it's a clean slate. So I say we have to have Etch-a-Sketch minds, because once in a while we'll look up and realize that we've just been feeling sorry for ourselves. Sometimes for an hour, sometimes for a day, sometimes for a week, sometimes for a month, sometimes for a year or more. We wake up one day and we went, whoa, I've basically done nothing but bitch and complain and play the blame game, and life's not fair and this is BS, and I'm done doing that. I'm going to take control of my life today, right now, and I'm going to recommit, whether that's recommit to doing the dishes, whether that's recommitting to making my bed. We're going to start by doing positive things. Now, when you talk about you were just telling me off air about a book that you saw, the 4 Agreements. Now, kind of explain to me how that book touched you in your life and how would you use it?
Yeah, well, when somebody told me about this book, I was doing this nightclub thing. I started the Red Lion on weekends.
Like a DJ?
No, well, I had a DJ, and what I did is use the Grizzlies, the lounge, to do some type of different music, and it used to be Latin nights.
Right.
So, anyways, we had people from all over, and there's this couple from another state. So that I had that book on my hands, and they're like, "Oh, I love that book. You know, our company is based on that book," and I didn't want to read it. I was like, "This is another, one of those motivational books that say the same." Mm-hmm. And so I started reading it, and it made a big impact in me because it basically talks about 4 elements. And I was talking about, he basically mentions how we should never assume, do our best. One one of the things that we were talking on the break is don't take anything personally.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Exactly.
That's a big one. That's kind of easy to do.
Because the thing is that you got to develop, when you're able to develop something that shields your energy, you're gonna be able to overcome all these obstacles. And what we were talking about is like you have these people, even when you wake up and you're driving and you see this person, getting in your way,
Cut you off at the
exactly,
intersection,
and then you have two choices. You can get really mad and curse and everything, and everything starts going downwards.
Yeah, it does. I tell you what, mindset coaching is a giant help for me because I have been through a lot of stages like all of us in life. And when you reflect, sometimes it's fairly embarrassing because you're like, man, I was kind of a jerk, or man, I was kind of immature in that moment. And trust me, I've had a lot of those moments in my life, especially in my 20s and 30s. I had a lot of those moments.
Me too.
And now what's funny is you got to have, you have to remember this. I try to tell everybody, make grace and forgiveness and generosity all part of your business plan. But the forgiveness component is very, very important because we really don't know 99.9% of the time when someone offends us and we do go visceral on them. We do have that adrenaline rush and we do want to, just pull over and let's have a chat behind the cabin, go behind the woodshed, so to speak. We want to get angry and violent and yell and curse. What we don't know is what pain they may be in. We don't know their programming.
Exactly.
We don't know their childhood. They might have backed over their kid.
Yes.
We don't know. As gross and as sad as that would be, it happens. So when you're judging, when you have judgment as part of your DNA, instead of forgiveness and grace, and look to come from a place of curiosity, not judgment, right? That's where you start to have a good, solid impact on your life, I believe. It's like when someone offends you and you can be curious to the degree like, what's going on in their world that would make them so upset to do what they did to me?
Exactly.
Versus that like I'm going to go talk to that guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard though, isn't it? Because we're naturally wired for fight or flight. And yet we're all human beings and we're all in this rat race called life. And whether we like it or not, no matter how positive you are, life will slap you in the face. We've all known people that have been diagnosed with illnesses. We've all known people that have been in accidents. We've all known people probably that have taken their own lives. And that's, to me, a big one. That suicide thing, especially for veterans, is a big deal to me. In fact, last month, or it was a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you know who Paddy the Batty Pimblett is. He's a UFC fighter from the other side of the pond. When he won his fight, he came on and he said, look, men especially have a hard time opening up, and there's this stigma about men being able to talk to other men or women about their vulnerabilities, right? So he, in the octagon, in the ring, after he won the UFC fight, and he's a crazy guy, right? So he's not known for, he's kind of flamboyant and, a little bit of talker and all that, right? But he said, look, my mate killed himself last week, and I want everybody to know this. If you have issues that you can't resolve, talk to your friends.
Yes.
Because he said, and it was a great quote, he goes, I'd rather have my friend crying on my shoulder now than me crying at his funeral next week that I got to go to.
Wow.
So for everyone out there, I mean, everyone, open up. And if you want, give me a call, because I can sit there and rap with the best of them. And trust me, I have had my own set of issues, right? And I just admire you for being that kind of guy too. I mean, would you agree with that?
Well, that's why I connect with you, Russ. And when you went through what you went through on the crisis of 2008, what you have done, and just the fact also that you mentioned something, when we're able to recognize that we did some stuff wrong. I'm not perfect. I was a guy also that has felt things like jealousy, envy, and things that when you recognize that and you focus on yourself, you're even able to ask for forgiveness to some people that didn't deserve the attitudes you had, but only when you're able to have the courage to recognize it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes strength for sure.
Exactly. But I believe, you know what, one of the things that it's just sad how from a really young kid that is given or has this opportunity to be, in the internet and exposed to so much information, to the person that I don't know, 60, 70, 80, it doesn't matter when we're alive and we see all these things, and we're not able to shield ourselves from all the crap, that's when we have all these thoughts that really hurt us. And I think that's where anxiety comes from, because we're feeding ourselves and we're letting ourselves be feeded by all this stuff that is not going to help us, and it's just going to keep hurting us. So, but if we understand that we have a choice, because also with this information, if you choose to wake up, sometimes when I don't feel myself or the greatest, I look for a guy that I know that makes me laugh, and that's how I change my day. We all can do it. Mm-hmm. And if you're feeling down, you're feeling sad, or you need to cry, okay, cry it out. Sometimes I cry it out, I don't know, about my dad or something, because he died 3 years ago. But then, okay, then I'm up, and I'm going to change my day. It's healthy to feel what you feel, but then, stand up.
Let it go.
Let it go. And let's look at what we have to do, because we got to keep living. And we all need dreams. We all need goals. But even if you understand that when you're alive, you have an impact on others, there's a huge reason for you to be alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's the name of the game. And one real hack, I'm going to give you a life hack. When you're feeling overwhelmed, because overwhelm is another reason we're full of anxiety, and that mason jar called your brain that's full, I call it a brain dump. So you see, I have notebooks with me all the time, right? Uh-huh. So part of that is because I have a lot of anxiety, a lot, because I absorb a lot. And I don't know if you would like to try it for a while, but when you manage, almost 90 emotional creatures,
yes,
in real estate, and all the buyers and sellers 33 years later, and you're still putting on your real estate hat every day, it can be challenging. So I always tell people, do a brain dump, write everything in their head down. Uh-huh. And then at the end of that, when you're done writing all the thoughts that you have down, I don't care how small or big they are, business, work, life, personal, doesn't matter, emotional, religious, I don't care. Then get a highlighter and now highlight 3 of the ones that are the most important, and then focus on that today.
Yes.
Then we have an opportunity to win the day, because that's all it is. It's just winning the day one day at a time.
I love that.
Hey, so I want to know something. How do people get a hold of you? I have your cell phone number, so if you got a pen and paper, get ready, because here it comes. You're going to want to hire Aaron to be your real estate professional. His cell phone number is 509-860-3309. I appreciate you coming in. You're an amazing man, and I'm lucky to be in business with you and your family.
Thank you. I'm thankful to be here, and I'm really happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
All right, well, we'll be right back with Michael Maher and PrimeLending in just a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in one more time.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true.
With the new Keller Williams School of Real Estate, you can now get your license for free. Access tools, tips, and personalized coaching with Keller Williams award-winning training programs, and start off your career in real estate the right way. K-Score is 100% online and entirely free to students, with pre-licensing curriculum geared toward placing aspiring agents on a direct path to licensure and profitability. With K-Score, we're not just unlocking the door, we're opening every door to anyone that's ever dreamed of starting their career in real estate. We're making a difference for you so that you can make a difference for others. Now available for all individuals in Washington. Your future awaits. Enroll today.
We're excited. We got a lot of people signing up, so give us a call, 509-888-0038, or simply email us at joinus@kwncw.com. Let's go from being stuck to unstuck. Hi, this is Russ McClellan, operating partner with Keller Williams Realty and the host of this show, Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. I want to take just a minute to say a heartfelt thank you for your support and tuning into our show each and every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. I personally have made some amazing friendships as a direct result of this radio show, and I couldn't be more grateful. As always, Throw the phone in the drawer, be present, spend some time with your friends and loved ones, and make it a fantastic Saturday. Thanks again for your amazing support of Home Sweet Home with Russ, McClellan, and friends.
You're enjoying the Real Estate Show, Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. Here's more with Russ.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ, McClellan, and friends. How you doing, Michael Maher with PrimeLending?
I'm doing well, Russ. Happy to be here and give everyone an update on this crazy market.
Yeah, I love these inspirational shows that we're doing, man, with some really cool people. Yeah, what a weird time to be in real estate, huh? A little shift.
It is.
A little shift in interest rates, and there's a lot of speculation out there. Could you maybe try to help clarify it from the world of mortgage? What is going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I won't bore everyone with the specifics on how interest rates work, but basically the Fed did release some information, and they ended up raising the rates another 0.75%, and interest rates went in the opposite direction, which mortgage interest rates, I should say. And a lot of people may not know that mortgage interest rates are not tied to the federal funds rate. So when things happen on as far as what the Fed does, it does not directly reflect what mortgage rates are going to do. Mortgage rates are typically tied to the Treasury market. So with everything that happened, mortgage rates came down and we saw a slight increase in mortgage applications. But I just saw some data on a mortgage news forum that I follow quite often, and it says that as of right now, mortgage applications are at their lowest that they've been in almost 20 years. And people might say, well, wow, that means the mortgage interest rates are either high, people are scared, they don't want to buy, it's a bad time to buy because applications are down and so on. But what I want to caution people and actually encourage people to think of is the positive spin on that. And that is, there's less competition. If there's less people putting applications in for mortgages, that means there's going to be less people out there shopping for homes, which gives you the upper hand as a buyer who's still in the market, still pushing through this shift, to turn it into a positive and possibly get seller paid closing costs. You could maybe get some repairs or updates done on the seller's dime. We're entering a more balanced market, and dare I say, maybe eventually a buyer's market, depending on how everything carries out throughout the end of the year. But it's not something to be fearful of, just knowledgeable of what types of strategies you can use to best help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, I mean, I look at a year ago, and I tell people this: would you rather be a real estate broker or a buyer, either one, that's in the market we experienced for quite a few years where you can't have inspections? You barely could have a finance contingency, and you're probably going to be in a bidding war with 45 other people in the first 5 minutes that it's listed. Now, that's not fun either. Even though rates were good, quite often people were paying over full price without inspection contingencies, which is a very bad idea. I mean, I obviously have told everybody in our company, if somebody did during those times, if they didn't want to put an inspection addendum to protect the buyer, if they chose as the buyer to not do that to make their offer more competitive, I told my agents, hey, I want you to email them and tell them it's a really bad idea. So we have that in writing, because people were willing to gamble. And, you know, that's a huge gamble. What if the foundation's bad? What if the roof's bad? I mean, these are big ticket items. Well, to your point, now that the market has shifted a little bit, sellers are demonstrating more flexibility. And that creates this opportunity where we could become more strategic in the way we structure our offers and making sure that we're covering our bases with inspections and feasibility studies and so on. So I agree with you, man. I think it's a great time to be in real estate. I mean, this is the thing that I've known forever about real estate in 30 plus years, is that, you know, in a shift, you're going to shuffle the deck, right? Yep. And you're only as good as your last deal. So here's the thing: the people that have opportunities to build relationships with people like you and Sharon, PrimeLending, are going to, and then work with our company. So we talk a lot about structuring offers, right? And we would say it's fair that we work together to show people in real estate and buyers how to structure offers to get the most out of what they have to work with.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a great team effort, and that's the most important thing, is it's not one-sided. People might think, oh, I only work with my real estate agent to figure out what the offer is. Well, no, if you're working with a good lender, and that lender can say, listen, if you do a $50,000 price reduction, the seller's not going to net what they probably want. But let's say the seller can give you a $30,000 credit towards your closing costs, they can net a little bit more, and you actually end up with a lower payment than if you had the higher price drop. And so it's kind of a win-win at that point on both sides. But you don't know to have these conversations unless you're working with people that have already worked through these scenarios or are constantly creating value on all sides of the transaction to make sure that you're well taken care of and that the best deal that you're able to get is the one that comes together.
Yeah, here's the thing that I always tell people, and in any market especially now, we all have friends and family that are experts in everything, right? We always have uncle, so-and-so that was a lawyer once or is doing mortgage in Chicago, and they'll tell us something. And without telling your uncle in Chicago that he's wrong, here's my advice. Trust your uncle, but verify by calling an expert locally.
Yep.
Trust, but verify, because here's the problem, and I know you see it probably more than I do, where someone was told, maybe by a bank, that you need 20% down. Or maybe by their friend that interest rates are at 7.5% and blah, 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 and you're never going to get a loan. So they don't ask the question. That's the biggest mistake that I see buyers making in a shift, where they've resigned. And this is one of the reasons I think you see the lower applications, because the rumor mill is very powerful. There's a million posts a day that don't make sense, that act like they do on social media. Not everybody is the same. So when you're curious about something, I don't care what it is, get a second opinion. Work with real estate brokers that work with lenders. And if they don't, ask them why they don't. Because we have to structure the deal as a realtor, meaning structure the financing with the correct addendums and the correct language to take advantage of the lending opportunities with mortgage companies like PrimeLending that have the flexible programs. You see, some people, especially big banks, they just have a handful of programs. Other mortgage companies might say they have access to 100 programs, but they only know 6, and they push what they know. They push what they're familiar with, and they will talk you out of the things that they're uncomfortable with or don't know enough about to act like they're comfortable with, because they're not. They're uneducated. Not that they're dumb. They're just uneducated in the programs that they may even have available to them in their mortgage company, but they're just not comfortable because they don't do them. And they don't do them, so it's this proverbial cycle. So what I tell people is talk to Michael at PrimeLending, because you guys have rolled up your sleeves and you weren't, for one, driven strictly by refinances, right?
Exactly.
Go ahead and tell people what that means. What does that mean, what I just said?
As far as refinances?
Yeah, like some mortgage companies are focused on just that for 10 years.
Yeah. So when you enter a rate market where interest rates are just insanely low, you see everybody and their mother come out of the woodwork to get into the industry as far as mortgages go. And they want to capitalize on the fact that it's easy money, it's low-hanging fruit. And they focus on cash-out refinances and rate-term refinances. And then when interest rates go up, you see a mass exodus from the business because they haven't built their business on purchase-based business or relationships. They haven't established relationships with realtors in order to help clients. It's just kind of take it as they come. And once that source dries up, they're no longer in it. So let's say that person's still in the business and you go to them for a home loan on a purchase. They're not going to have nearly the amount of experience because they've only been doing refinances for the last couple of years. You would rather work with someone who's been in the business a decade, seen some ebbs and flows in the market, but has also turned around and was able to be creative with different purchase opportunities with different buyers and putting things together and being strategic. And that value is irreplaceable. Yeah.
Yeah. Creativity is an important component, and creativity, said differently, is expert advisor. Knowing what product in what situation in conjunction with a real estate broker that knows how to write the deal from a structural perspective in a way that's going to fully maximize the efficiency of the program and get you, the buyer, the best deal. And to your point, often nets the seller more. That buy down rates is something that's so overlooked. And people like, I can't get 100% financing anymore and I don't have enough cash. Well, there are programs that we can do that with, right? So don't, remember this. We say it a lot, but remember this. If you're renting, it's 100% interest. It's 100% interest. And if you can't buy today, guess what? Michael will tell you, you can't buy today. But here's what we do to get you to where you can buy maybe this winter, maybe when the seller's even more motivated than they are right now. So the time to start is now, not this winter. That's important too. And would you explain that it's just double check my words? It's confidential and you can develop a plan, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Everything's confidential. Doesn't matter how bad your situation is or how bad you think it is. Everything remains between us, and we can put you on a plan to help you achieve your goals, and however long that takes, does not matter.
Hey man, I've been bankrupt. It sucks.
Yeah.
But I made it back, and in ebb and flow, don't judge yourself. Just stop the negative judgment. We've all been there. We've all been through tough times. And if you're feeling stuck, the point is to reach out to people that actually care about you. They're not just, selling you stuff you don't need, but that's what Keller Williams is all about. Our goal is to change lives to the life they want and the life they deserve, using real estate as the vehicle to do it. And we partner with people like PrimeLending for a reason, because they're integrity-based and they know what they're doing. All right, Michael, go back to catching salmon and all those other things you're going to do today on this beautiful, beautiful summer day. I'm envious.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for coming, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, Russ.
All right, everybody get outside. Enjoy the summer while it's here, because you know how it goes. Bang, summer's over. That's how fast life goes. So go spend some time with your friends and family. Be safe out there, and thank you from the bottom of my heart to tuning into the show. We'll see you next week. Talk to you soon.
It's a bright new day. Just can't